Hey, what's up guys? Jackson here at 𝗖𝗿𝗱𝗶𝘁, and today we got an expensive cardioid mic. This is the BASN SL2000, and this mic comes in at $120. We've looked at quite a few mics on this channel, especially this style. This is essentially a two-in-one mic. It can be used with an XLR setup, so that means you're going to have an actual mixer or like a DAC that can actually drive this microphone. That's going to get you your best sound quality, but it's going to cost the most. Or this does have a built-in mixer DAC inside of it, so you can just plug in USB-C and use it that way as well. That's going to be your cheapest setup. So to go over the tech specs of this mic, the sensitivity is -51 dBV with a PA plus or minus of 3 decibels. The gain adjustment can go from 0 to 25 decibels. It can do XLR or USB-C. The polar pattern is cardioid. The maximum sound pressure level is 130 decibel SPL. The frequency response is 50 Hz all the way up to 15 kilohertz. And the sampling rate is 24-bit or 96 kilohertz. And it does have some other fun features like noise reduction, RGB, hi-fi sound, and it's supposedly plug and play. So you guys know we gotta test out this mic. So we're not using it at the moment, don't be fooled. This right here is a 𝗖𝗿𝗱𝗁 mic. Same kind of concept actually. This is USB-C and XLR. So we're testing this one right now. We got it probably maybe a few inches from my face at the moment. This is about where we usually like to have it. We get a little bit of plosives. It's usually not insane, but we're at -3.2 decibels. Oh, and we do have noise suppression. RX noise, good quality, more CPU usage. So we do have a noise suppressor on. So there's that. Let's go ahead and just switch this. We should be able to hot swap it. We'll see. So yeah, it looks like this one out of the gate has a little bit less decibel to it. So you gotta have it a little bit closer to your mouth, which obviously that's just dependent on the mic, what software you're using, what type of noise suppression you have on. But this is the exact same setup for the 𝗖𝗿𝗁 mic that I'm now using the BASN on. So hopefully it sounds pretty good. I am talking straight into it. I'm pretty sure that's what they want you to do with it being a cardioid, but let's see, if we talk into the front, yeah, that's not any better. So more than likely they want us to talk straight into it and see how it sounds. Okay, so now we're testing with no negative decibels. So we're right at 0. We're not adding any, we're not subtracting, but keep in mind the 𝗖𝗿𝗁, we had -3 on, -3.2. Now we have 0. So hopefully this is a little bit louder, a little bit more comparable to the 𝗖𝗿𝗁 in terms of the volume. And you guys can decide at home if you think it sounds better or worse than the 𝗖𝗿𝗁. And of course, the real test though is going to be trying it at home on my XLR setup. All right, so I thought that'd be a fun little test. So right now, we're actually using our podcasting set where we have 4 XLR mics set up, but notice one of them looks different. And that right there, I have just taken the XLR cable and hooked up the BASN mic. So these are pretty nice mics. These are the 𝗖𝗿𝗁 tank microphones. I think these are around $100 XLR mics. And let me check. These ones are also the combo mics where they have USB-C and XLR. So they should be pretty comparable, pretty similar, but this is an XLR mode. It is going to, I believe, a pile mixer. That's a 4-input mixer. So it can take all 4 of these mics at once. Let's go over to the BASN. Okay, so we are now testing out the BASN mic. It looks like this one actually, we might be getting a little bit better peaks this time because it is using XLR instead of the USB-C. So ultimately, when you use USB-C on these mics, that's going to be up to like the built-in mixer that's inside the mic. It's a little bit more of the technology inside the mic. But when you're running XLR, these bad boys are just straight up, you know, they're running their truest audio going straight to a mixer. I will say the room's pretty echoey, and keep in mind, all 3 of these other mics are on, so they may be slightly picking up a little bit of my voice, but yeah, hopefully it sounds pretty good. I watched back the USB-C version, and I will say, it sounded really good. Like, I think that the USB-C sounded better than I think that was a Mayano or 𝗖𝗿𝗁 mic in there, but it sounded better than that, I think. So we'll see how this one sounds comparatively. All right, so final thoughts, because I think we don't need to go over too much more with the mic now. I'm not really going to go into the software, and I know some of you guys may be upset about that, but realistically, I think when you're spending this much on a mic, it's probably worth using the XLR setup because you can probably afford the extra DAC combo. You can get them for like anywhere from like 30 to, you know, a few $100. I do recommend starting out with the cheap XLR DAC combo. And overall, I mean, on USB-C, which I'm running right now, by the way, it does sound really good just basic settings, but the software is cool. You can add things like reverb, you can add all kinds of different effects, you can add noise gates, you can do a lot more than what the mic just has out of the gate. But out of the gate, it's fine. I mean, if I was live streaming and I was mainly gaming, I would just run it like this. Now, if I was in a music production or if I was just really picky, then sure, I would probably adjust some settings on this. But other than that, I mean, out of the box, I think it's fine. And obviously, if you're on XLR, you're going to change all the settings on the mixer or the mixer software. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not a big software guy. I'm not going to get into it, but there's plenty of videos out there of people who have also reviewed this mic that do test out the software if you would like to see that. But anyways, we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you check out Toasty Bros, Toasty Clips. Check out PCBros.tech if you want to buy something like this mic and PCs and other things like that. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.